Welcome back tuning into today's video. Just going to have a look at the weather that's going on in the United States. The really hot weather that's taking place in the southwest states. Then we're going to come back and have a look at the British Isles. The high pressure still looks like it's on the way, and it looks like we're going to be seeing some really warm weather setting in from the weekend and probably lasting throughout much of next week. It could get really very warm, potentially quite hot actually, with high pressure sitting right over the top of the British Isles, giving us our first sort of proper heat wave of 2013. Perhaps not just of 2013, maybe for quite a few years actually. It's been a long while since we've had some really prolonged and extensive high pressure type weather in the middle of summer. Probably have to go back to 2006 actually for the last really hot sort of summer months, July 2006. So yeah, it looks like we've got some really warm weather coming up. Now, before I get on with that, just want to mention the advertising. There's green keyword ads on all my pages at GazWeatherViz.com. If you roll your cursor over those green keywords, they will display ads. If you click through the words, if you click through the ads, you'll go to the advertiser's website and you'll be supporting GazWeatherViz.com by doing that, and thanks very much for doing that. So starting off with the upper air temperatures in the United States, we see, but actually in the east of the states there's not much going on. It is really quite cool in the east and central parts of the states. Not particularly extensive heat, but the heat is really in the west. It's very, very hot in the southwest, dangerously hot really through much of Arizona, Nevada, into parts of California. Very, very high upper air temperatures there. We've got upper air temperatures into the 30s Celsius at 850 HPA. That is incredibly hot sort of air. The highest maximum temperature so far, but I've seen, is 130 Fahrenheit, so we're still just a little bit short, about 4 Celsius short of the all-time global temperature record, which remember was set in the Nevada desert in 1913 in Death Valley. So we're still just a little bit short of that all-time global temperature record. Whether we ever break it, I don't know whether we will. The heat is just going to carry on building over the next day or so, so potentially it could do. And notice the heat is increasingly pushing up into some of these more northern states as well. Very unusual to see such extensive heat pushing this far north up into the northwest states, but there it is, really high temperatures pushing up there. As we run through, we can see that the heat is going to carry on really across many of these western and southwestern parts of the United States for certainly into Wednesday, on into Thursday as well. The heat is going on there, maybe taking a little bit cooler in the far northwest around the Canadian border, but really many of these western and southwest states still very, very hot indeed. Perhaps not just as hot right at the end of week. Temperature maybe easing down very, very slightly, but still it's really a very hot scene here in the southwest of the states. Very dangerous sort of heat wave conditions down there. As I say, temperatures in the desert regions are flirting with the all-time temperature record. Whether they'll ever get to it above 134 Fahrenheit, I don't know, but whether it does or not, it really is a very incredible heat wave either way. Now, coming back to the British Isles, and the high pressure is going to be building in for us over the next week or so. It's going to lift the temperatures up. Don't worry, it's not going to give anything like the sort of heat that's going on in the southwest and the west of the United States. But even so, we are going to see some warmer weather coming up. It is going to get hotter. And these are the 500 millibar height anomalies that we're going to start off with for 8 to 10 days' time, which is taking us to around the 8th to the 10th of July. Of course, it's 1st of July today, so to July now. And yes, these are the 500 millibar height anomalies. 500 millibars, 18,000 feet, important area in the atmosphere. That's where we get high pressure, low pressure developing, and that's really what gives us our weather as they're moved around by the jet stream running above. The orange areas are where we've got above average heights, and that extrapolates to above average temperature at 500 millibars, 80,000 feet. That's high pressure, and we can see about both the ECM. This is the ECM here on the left of the image, on the left of your screen. That's the ECM. That's showing a big area of anomalous high pressure sitting right over the top of the British Isles for 8 to 10 days' time. The GFS, which is the chart that you're looking at on the right, that again is showing a big anomalous area of high pressure sitting right over the British Isles at 8 to 10 days time. So both models are in agreement that high pressure is going to become very, very dominant in the 8 to 10 day period. I say this is taking us towards the end of the first week and into the second week of July. The jet stream is being pushed off up to the north of the country on both charts, so not going to worry about the jet stream impacting us. That's being pushed off towards Greenland and Iceland, and really the weather is set there with high pressure very, very dominant. So with that high pressure, you would expect the temperatures to be lifting up, and indeed that is what the GFS temperature ensembles are telling us. We're a bit up and down with the temperatures over the next few days, but once we get to around the 5th to the 6th of July, we're going to start to see the temperatures pushing up. And remember, the red line here is the average where we should be for the time of year. Most members of the GFS temperature ensemble going above that red line from around the 6th, 7th of July onwards through the second week of July. Some really warm weather coming up. Notice there's hardly any precipitation spikes here as well. Just got a little bit of rain coming up around the 3rd of July, 2nd, 3rd of July, but really not much rainfall coming up. This is for London. Very, very dry ensemble going right out towards the 13th to the 15th of July. Long way out into the middle of the month. There's not really much sign of precipitation going on there. So the weather, it implies that weather is going to be dominated by high pressure for quite some time. Temperature anomalies for the next week, well, still struggling to get these into the red category, aren't we? I do think that as we go through the week, we'll keep an eye on this. I think as we go through the week and next week comes into view, we'll find these temperature anomalies going into the red category. So I will be keeping you updated on them. I think we're going to go into the red category as we go into the coming few days. So just have a look at the generic charts from the GFS model. First of all, high pressure building in here across the country on Friday the 5th. Friday the 5th is the day when it all starts to happen as we move through to Saturday the 6th. That high pressure, again, is sitting there right over the top of the country, bringing warmer temperatures with it. The high pressure is there over us on the 7th, Sunday the 7th. 100,030 millibar area of high pressure sitting right over the top of British Isles on Monday the 8th. We'll be bringing in very warm, hot temperatures with that area of high pressure as we move out to Tuesday the 9th, and then on into Thursday the 11th, which is taking us to the 10-day period. We're just seeing signs there at the end of that the high pressure is beginning to weaken very, very slightly, but it still really is a case of high pressure dominating the weather, and it does look like it's going to be very warm through next week. These are the temperatures coming up. Starting off on Friday the 5th, we've got temperatures at that point of around 23 to 25 degrees. We can maybe lift that up to 26 or 27. It's going to be very warm. As we go out though, look how the temperatures lift up through Saturday the 6th. On into Sunday the 7th, the temperatures are getting hotter and hotter. By Sunday the 7th, we're up to around 27 or 28, so that's into the 80s Fahrenheit. Going out beyond that into Monday the 8th, the temperatures, if anything, are lifting up, 27, 28 being indicated here. I think we'll probably increase that to 30 degrees. 30 degrees is 86 Fahrenheit, so it's going to get very warm at the weekend and into the start of next week as well. Perhaps not very warm, perhaps we can actually use the H word, hot. Temperatures possibly coming up over the weekend and into next week. ECMWF, that was all the GFS data. The ECMWF, again, it's the same sort of idea. The high pressure is building in on Friday the 5th. High pressure sitting right over the top of the country on Saturday the 6th into Sunday the 7th. That high pressure at 1,030 millibars is right there over British Isles, and it lasts through into Monday the 8th. Very, very dominant area of high pressure, bringing very warm, if not hot temperatures. Still going on into Tuesday the 9th, and then beyond into Thursday the 11th. As far out as the ECMWF goes, the high pressure is very, very dominant across the British Isles, maybe becoming very slightly centred more to the west, so perhaps a little bit cooler by the time we get through to Thursday the 11th of July, but it still is a good week or so of very warm or if not hot temperatures. Finally, have a look at the GEM. Again, same idea with high pressure reaching in on Friday the 5th, and as we move out to Saturday the 6th, and then on into Sunday the 7th, the high pressure is very dominant, perhaps not quite as dominant as it is on the ECMWF and the GFS. The GEM, the Canadian model, is always very slightly different to the other two. High pressure isn't quite as dominant. It's more centred out to the west as well, so it's maybe not quite as warm as the other two. But eventually we do end up by Monday the 8th with that high pressure sitting right over the top of the country, and the high pressure is still there on Tuesday the 9th, and Thursday the 11th as well. No doubt producing lots of warm weather, very good sunny spells, and almost universally dry conditions also. So it really does look as though we're in for a prolonged spell of high pressure, starting from around Friday the 5th. High pressure becoming very dominant, temperatures lifting up. It's going to get very warm over the weekend with lots of sunshine. As we go beyond that into next week, this time next week we could be looking at hot conditions, temperatures possibly as high as 30 degrees, 86 Fahrenheit. And it looks like the high pressure is going to be really dominant, so a prolonged spell of settled weather coming up. I'll keep you updated on it at GazWeatherVids.com. But yeah, high pressure is taking over for July. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.